Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt your partner was too good for you? If so, what ended up happening? Yeah, I'm in it. Have been for almost 10 years. There are so many moments every day where I ask, wow, how do I deserve such a good guy? For example, since working from home, he comes up every day at 11 AM to bring me coffee. He's been doing it for months. How many cups of coffee have I made for him? Maybe 3 at most. Or last night he cooked dinner and washed up the dishes, when our agreement is whoever cooks doesn't wash up. And when I asked him about it, he claimed that there were no dishes to wash up. Close bracket. Honestly, it just makes me up my game. I feel like I've become a better partner and overall a better person through his example. Yeah, this is how I feel in my relationship as well. I'm working and studying a lot, and without any complaint he promised to take over the household until summer when my exams are done, despite him working full time as well. I love and appreciate him a lot for who he is. But I think the main thing for me is that he's my biggest motivation to become a better person myself. This posts have helped me solidify my decision to leave my BF. He does nothing around the house or cook. He cheated on me for a year. Contributes nothing to the bills. And why do I deal with this when I could have so much better? I've had the opposite. He ended up putting me on a constant pedestal and thought I could do nothing wrong. So when we did break up, he was crushed because all of a sudden I was normal and human and made mistakes. So if you are in this situation, make sure you also know that they are just a normal person who happens to want to be with you and treats you well, and you deserve to be treated well. Close bracket. In all of my past relationships, my partner always felt they weren't good enough for me. I never understood it. In my recent relationship, the shoe is on the other foot, and it's very strange to process. I didn't think to look at it this way though. Thank you, kind stranger. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. I have deep-seated shame because of childhood trauma. I think almost everyone is too good for me, even in cases where that's demonstrably not true. At a certain point I've had to learn to basically just ignore that feeling when it comes up. And when I can't ignore it, my spouse reassures me that they love me and I'm more than good enough for them. I never feel good enough for anyone either. It's a terrible struggle and I'm not even sure where it started in my past, to be honest. I'm working on it. In most of my relationships I've had moments of not feeling good enough. This recent relationship I'm just dumbfounded and keep asking myself, what do they possibly see in me? And it's really hard. You're lucky to have someone like your spouse to help you through. But importantly, they're just as lucky to have you. My current relationship, I guess I'll find out what happens. He treats me like a literal queen every day and does literally everything he can to make my life easier. I've never been treated so well or had such a healthy relationship. So I often feel like he's way better than I deserve. Hopefully I'm wrong and he sticks around, though. I felt like that very often when I met my current partner. I realized I had low self-esteem. We've been together for years and years now. He's done a lot for my confidence. I feel this so much. My partner is a very same. I've never met a person so comfortable with themselves. He makes a fool of himself regularly, doesn't mind walking around naked, and knows that he has flaws, and totally owns them. When we got together, I was so concerned about what others thought of me, but this guy taught me how to be happy with who I am, communicate and have fun living. It's crazy what a good partner can do to your self-confidence. That is how I feel right now with my partner. But I have a long history of anxiety/depression. So it's not unusual for me to feel some type of self-loathing. I stayed with him for way longer than I should have because he was so good to me. At the end of the day, I felt no chemistry with him. I struggled for months trying to make myself fall for him because he was perfect. He bought me flowers, surprised me with things I liked, did everything for me without being asked, and absolutely showered me in affection. I even was in therapy, trying to figure out if my past trauma was keeping me from letting someone so amazing love me. But at the end of the day, he kept falling harder and I couldn't love him back. So I let him go. Sort of. We only dated casually. He was my first date after leaving my LTR of 11 years. He was tall, blonde, blue eyes, a lawyer. We were both 30. He had a nice place downtown. He was fun and had a nice social life. He was great in bed, attentive, incorporated me into his personal life, and was active in politics. He was so perfect, a literal Prince Charming. Cooked me breakfast and played guitar for me. Total sweetheart, but I was too damaged and I just ran for it. Part of him felt fake to me, like it was too good to be true. In relationships either with men or family, I've always had the role of carer. My current partner is very self-sufficient and he looks after me more. He treats me amazingly and is so considerate. Sometimes I think, what do I bring to this relationship? But I think that's a very normal human feeling, and I feel so grateful to be in such a happy, healthy relationship. My current relationship is with that guy. He is kind to all people, is genuinely interested in everybody, and never judges without knowing them. He is a social butterfly. He can make me smile or laugh anywhere, anytime. In the same time, he is glad that he found a woman who likes his stupid jokes. We always kiss goodbye, hello and good night. I can go on and on about why I love him so much and how happy I am. So what ended up happening? He proposed to me and I said yes. I currently am, since October, but with a guy I've known for 15 years. I don't think he's perfect, as I can see there are some parts of him that could be improved. I still love everything about him. And I've noticed when he points out something wrong I do to myself or others, he doesn't do it often. I initially feel crushed, but then realize it was a polite and intelligent criticism to help me grow. I think I can become a better person with him, and I give the best of me every day. Could be doing this all my life, really. The one I'm in right now, I've dug my claws in and refused to let him go. I make an extra effort to match his levels, doing extra chores and nice things for him. He's made me a better person. I'm a short, slightly overweight, mostly unattractive ball of anxiety and debt from a borderline white trash family. He has stood by me for 3 years and somehow still wants to marry me. My boyfriend. He's my first boyfriend, but he showers me with love and affection every day. We don't live together, but every morning he'll text me, "Good morning, beautiful. How did you sleep?" or something like that, and every night he wishes me good night. He buys me like 2 blocks of chocolate, raspberry jelly and ice on my period. I get raspberry jelly and ice cravings. I also get weird mood swings he has to deal with a lot, and he's patient, and we have a laugh about it later on. One time I started crying cause I was hungry, and I didn't like how my stomach felt when I was hungry. Then 5 minutes later I was in the mood and see, Linky. 3 minutes after that I was hungry again. He deals with a lot of my bull poop and I love him for that. He's just the best, and I always ask him how someone like him fell for someone like me, and his response is always, "I fell in love with you cause you were being yourself." Yes, he was absolutely handsome, sharp dresser, played recreational sports, played an instrument, cultivated bonsai trees, was a orthopedic surgeon resident. I feel so hard. Couldn't believe my luck with this charming, successful guy. Turns out he was married to a girl still in his hometown before he went into his residency, and she was pregnant. Just waiting to be reunited when he got footing. Bastard. Broke my heart. Man I was involved in was handsome, tall, worked it, was raising his daughter by himself. Told me he loved me completely and considered himself blessed to have me in his life. I consider myself average, so I could not believe this awesome man wanted to be with me. Turned out he was a pathological liar and a closeted woman hater that bragged to others about all the women he pounded. Moral of the story, ladies, know your own worth. No one is too good for you, as all of us are amazing in our own way. We got married, and now we are the happy married couple in our social circle. That's the outcome, but I had to work to feel worthy, and I still do. I still have doubts. He's so kind, compassionate and stable. He is a fully cool partner, and he takes care of me when I need to be taken care of when my mental health is low. We want to have kids, and I just found out I'm a carrier for an X-linked degenerative muscle disorder. So I feel like poop that I have a 1/4 chance of having a boy who will have this illness. I feel like both my mental health and physical health genetically is ducked, and he's healthy with no mental health issues. So I feel at times both as a person and as a reproductive partner I'm not good enough. How do I cope with it? I remember he chose me for a reason. I make him happy. He's with me because he wants to be. I have ways where I'm a good partner. I'm helpful and curious. I'm compassionate. I'm funny and I'm goofy. I take ownership of my actions and mental health. I focus on where I'm good, and I try not to ask him for reassurance, so he's not always coaching me through my anxiety. I do ask for comfort with some things. Like, when I found out I'm a carrier and my dad is going to get sick because of the same gene. Just as I comfort him when he needs it, I also try to remember he also has his flaws he doesn't like, and that he's not perfect. Just as I'm not perfect, even if he's perfect for me. Yes, and I'm still in it 9 years later. We've been married 2 years, and I still ask myself what I ever did to deserve this man. He's so caring and thoughtful, and I feel like it's really pushed me to be a better person and partner, like another commenter said. Like a few weeks ago I was feeling a little low. This man has me draw a bath and brings me wine and a tablet to watch my favorite Netflix specials. I've been thinking about how I can get him back. I broke up with him. I wasn't over my ex and have a lifelong history of trauma related to men and relationships. He did nothing wrong. Treated me like a queen. Absolutely doted on me. And the entire time I was on the verge of panic, because if the good is this good, what happens when he isn't in a good mood anymore? And what will he expect from me in exchange for all this? Apostrophe. So I tried to explain that he did nothing wrong. But it's not you, it's me never goes over well. I tried to explain that I just need therapy, but probably didn't communicate that very well, because upsetting him made me panic even more. He attempted to remain friends after, but I just couldn't hack it. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes my self-esteem ranges throughout the day/week/month. Sometimes I feel I'm not enough. Sometimes I feel too good. It might have to do with me having bipolar though, lol. Yes. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. In the beginning of my only real, most recent relationship I was almost in awe at this man's intelligence. That trait alone was so amazing to me. Not like school smart, which he also is, but just his way of thinking. The way he spoke, and the way he wrote. He probably didn't realize, but he'd shoot random topics, just to have him speak on it. It was so beautiful to me to see someone use their brain that way. He was so nonchalant about it too. It was such a turn on just hearing him speak about his ideas and his perspectives. He'll probably always stand out to me as the most intelligent person I've ever met. I felt so challenged to think and learn and make myself more aware, and I always felt like I was pretty abstract in my way of thinking, but he pushed it a lot. We had great conversations. We ended up breaking up recently because as intelligent as he is has done some not so intelligent things, lol, and I eventually had to walk away. But yeah, super creative abstract human. He will change the world one day, hopefully positively, lol. My husband is an amazing guy, hence why I married him, but I have never thought he is too good for me. However, I always think about what a good person he is. We respect each other and have a healthy, fun relationship. We love each other. We have faults and we argue. We acknowledge that we are not perfect humans. But as long as we are growing individually and as a couple, it will all be okay. I feel the same way too. I've been seeing someone for just a few days, over a month now, and he's literally perfect in my eyes. I'm falling for him, but I'm also terrified that this will be taken away from me one day. There are so many moments where I find myself with tears welling up in my eyes because he is everything I once prayed for. It's too good to be true. Yet he constantly makes me feel amazing and tells me that he is the lucky one. Every relationship I've ever been in, I always end up getting a little love crazy, worshipping them like a god, praising them, giving them my money and constantly wanting to be sexually and emotionally destroyed by them. I'm just insecure, but a lot of times my partner tells me things to let me know I'm insecure / too sensitive / stressful / etc. So like I can never know how to feel better about it besides the relief it gives me when he decides he needs a mental break. When he has a break, I don't need to be afraid of making him angry and end up crying for every little thing I try to communicate. The relationship I'm in right now tbh. This is one of the first non-abusive relationships I've had in a while. He treats me with respect. He doesn't yell at me. He's patient and just perfect. I feel like sometimes he's too good for me, but he feels the same way. We love each other a lot, and he tells me constantly how much he loves me. It's amazing. Now I'm just trying to make the best of it, and not thinking it's too good to be true. Married him. He's such an amazing guy and we've been together 10 years. Wanna know how many times I've cleaned a bathroom in 10 years? Maybe 2 times. Ever. There's countless things he doesn't want me doing, because it's not a job for a queen. We have 3 sons together, with our 4th coming this summer, and they all treat me like a queen. They tell me I'm beautiful and be sweet to me every day because of the example their dad gives them. But I will say that too good and the perfect man pedestal I put him on for so many years also came back to bite me. As most couples, we went through a rough patch a few years back. The issues that were at hand were really just normal things, but our marriage crashed so hard because I had such an unrealistic ideology of him for so long. We got past the rough time and we are even better now because I can grasp that he's not perfect and he's completely human and will make mistakes. I also appreciate being in a marriage I think is too good for me because it helps me go above and beyond for him too, and it just means we treat each other so great we don't feel unloved. I did once, but it was intense infatuation and he showed his true colors over time. We broke up. Occasionally, I get the feeling that my current partner is too good for me, but majority of the time he's just right for me. Like Goldilocks, I bounced from too good to bad and landed on a partner that is just right. An amazing, wonderful, and reasonably flawed man. I told him, and he proved it by helping me up my self-esteem, and until I felt like we deserved each other, and was amazed and overjoyed to understand he felt the same about me. I'm in it right now. My husband is an angel from the heavens. He's stable and smart and comforting, like a big bowl of soup on a cold day, or a fuzzy blanket in bed. When I met him, I loved him, and I knew if I was to ever get married, it would be to him. He is a better person than I, but I try my best to be just as good to him. I'm emotionally unstable AF, so it can get tiring. Currently am. She's way too good for me. Way too beautiful. I just really hope she doesn't wake up one day and realize that I have to try my best to deserve her. My previous partners put me on a pedestal and thought I was out of their league. This didn't warrant queen-like treatment. If anything, they felt insecure about not being good enough and not deserving me, so they stopped putting in effort into the relationship as they thought, what's the point? She'll leave me for a better man. What the duck? Close bracket. It also made it hard for me to open up about any issues or problems I faced, as they always saw me as some flawless being. I felt very alone having to live up to somebody's perfect image. I basically had the same thing happen. My ex always told me I was too gorgeous and cool to be with someone like him. When his friends met me, they let him know they thought I was great. But after a while it didn't matter because he was determined to make me look awful. His insecurities ruined what could have been the best thing either of us ever had. I loved him more than anything, but once he started trying to ruin my self-esteem, I couldn't take it. He almost managed to break me, but I had met his ex, and she told me the history of her marriage, and I realized he keeps trying every form of cruelty and abuse until he finds the right button to push. Once I realized that he was trying to find out how to make me an emotional wreck, I was amused by his reaction to my lack of reaction. Are you me? I have CPTSD and have always felt unworthy of even the worst people. Like my life was meant to be painful. Know what? My husband loves me for who I am. I can't say unconditional, because if I were stupid enough to say cheat on him, he'd leave me in a heartbeat. He knows his worth. I know I would never cheat. So this is as close to unconditional as it gets for me. I know this is not what you're asking, but I just wanna tell you no one is too good for you. You are a spectacular person and you deserve nothing but the best. I don't care what you've been through, what you've done, you are just as special as anyone else. I've also felt this in a way, but only with my relationship with God. I used to question him and ask him, why do you say why? Do you help me after I messed up 100 times? But He always assures me I'm good enough, and I'm special enough, if it's real love, and if it's true it will conquer all. Never forget that you are amazing, and deserve nothing but the best. Nothing is too good for you. He dumped me out of the blue. He was such a nice guy, but turned into a jerk right after he broke up with me. I get wanting to move on, but when you tell someone you want to remain friends and you're always there for them, don't get angry when they take you up on that offer. We went through a lot together and now he's a stranger. I get it though. He wanted to explore other options. We were in our early 20s, it's normal to want that. The way he left felt harsh and felt like the rug was pulled under me. He never gave me a reason why, but my guess is that he just wanted to try other people. Not knowing still hurts to this day 6 years later. Maybe I'm pathetic for still caring so much, but he was too good to be true while we were together. Is this some kind of pattern with certain guys? Mine slow danced with me too, if you don't know me by now, in his living room one night. Got one more nookie session in. Then dumped me the next morning and gave no reason why. I asked to have some sort of breakup talk so I could understand and move on, and he refused. He turned into a stranger after that. Despite my trying to be friends with him, it's made it harder to heal, having no closure, so I get it. I hope you're doing better every day. Well, he spent a lot of time telling me that he was too good for me, so it was unsurprising that I felt that way. When I left, I learned that it was, in fact, the other way around. My current relationship and I constantly sabotage it because of my insecurities. I'm pretty sure he's going to give up on it soon. Oh man, Boyce is hands down the smarter, more successful one in the relationship. He's super social too, but he's chubby and in me, so I guess it works out. Haha. I married him. I realized most of my own family has been very super. Over the years I have learned that I do deserve my husband. I thought he was too good for me because he would drive me to my exams, because he sat with me in the air of a hospital. Turns out my own parents sucked because they couldn't be bothered to do these things. They'd rather have me pee butt out at the train station and have me get home while on Valium by myself after. Reading your answers, I got 2 questions. Who did you met before? If you feel lucky to have someone caring, respectful and present, all normal things in a healthy relationship, what opinion of your self-worth do you have? If you feel to be grateful for such behaviors, I do not even mention he does the dishes. Ladies, you deserve everything you have. You are worthy of love and appreciation and care. You should take this sense of gratitude as a tool for self-improvement and love. And, for God's sake, if you feel like you do not reciprocate all the love you got, please, just try to start. It is not intended to invalidate your feeling or to have an aggressive tone. To me, it's only frustrating to see many women struggle to build a strong self-confidence due to social models that push us to be thankful if the people we love decide to stay and love back. The one I'm in, and hopefully will stay in, now, I ended up nearly sabotaging it in the beginning because I was so used to doing that before to cope with being treated poorly. Thankfully we worked past that and have been super strong for years now. Most of the time, when I feel like that, it's not even real. They just have this attitude that makes you think they are better than everyone and make you feel bad about yourself in some type of way. That's my current situation. I go through a bit of a cycle of feeling like I'm a bad partner, wondering if he'll leave me suddenly, then remembering that he's a bit of a doormat who's unlikely to do that. Next I jump to thinking I must be an abusive partner who's leeching off of him, that he resents me, and that I should dump him for his own good, which loops me back to feeling like I'm a bad partner. It's rough, but he understands. Damned perfect partner. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.